The morning sun cast a golden glow over the tranquil waters surrounding the beautiful shores of Fantasy Island. The gentle breeze rustled the palm leaves as Mr. Rourke stood near the docks, looking out at the arriving guests with his usual calm and welcoming demeanor. Beside him stood his loyal and energetic assistant, Tattoo, who was trying to keep up with the busy schedule of the day. "Good morning, Tattoo," Mr. Rourke said, his voice smooth and steady. "Miles, everyone, Miles. Who are they, boss?" Tattoo asked, pointing toward the family that had just stepped off the boat, looking a bit overwhelmed by the tropical paradise. "That is Mr. Herbert Soames, his wife, Beatrice, and their daughter, Allison," Mr. Rourke explained. "Which one has the fantasy?" Tattoo inquired, looking closely at the three newcomers. "Mrs. Soames," Mr. Rourke answered. "But her daughter is the one who is going to experience it." "Boss, you lost me," Tattoo said, shaking his head in confusion. Mr. Rourke smiled gently and cleared up the mystery. "Mrs. Soames used to be in the theater. Now, her dream is for her daughter to pick up where she left off. Mrs. Soames' fantasy is for her daughter to perform in an operetta. Unfortunately, Miss Allison Soames has no desire to become an actress. As for Mr. Soames, he has a secret fantasy which, if fulfilled, will greatly influence his family's future happiness." "I'm confused, boss," Tattoo admitted, scratching his head. "Trust me, Tattoo," Mr. Rourke said reassuringly. Before Tattoo could ask another question, his attention was drawn to another elegant figure walking down the gangplank. "Boss, who is the pretty lady?" "Her name is Miss Margaret Stanton," Mr. Rourke replied. "She is an attorney with the law firm of Peabody, Melton, and Stern. She is here to sue us, boss," Tattoo said, his eyes widening with worry. "No, not Tattoo," Mr. Rourke laughed softly. "Actually, Miss Stanton was sent here by her firm to deliver a check to the person holding the winning ticket on the Irish sweepstakes." "Who did win? Whose fantasy is it? Anybody I know?" Tattoo asked in rapid succession, his curiosity thoroughly piqued. "Actually, you knew Ambrose Hoskins very well," Mr. Rourke said quietly. "Ambrose? But, boss, he is dead," Tattoo said, his voice dropping in surprise. "Which opens the door to a number of very interesting possibilities," Mr. Rourke noted with a mysterious glint in his eye. As the guests gathered near the main entrance, Mr. Rourke stepped forward to greet them with open arms. "My dear guests, I am Mr. Rourke, your host. Welcome to Fantasy Island." Meanwhile, a short distance away, the Soames family was already having a small disagreement. Allison Soames looked utterly exasperated as she turned to her parents. First it was piano lessons, then ballet, charm school, baton twirling, and now this. "I don't want to go into show business being some silly operetta. Why can't my mother realize that?" Mr. Rourke appeared by her side, offering a sympathetic ear. "Well, trying to live their lives over through their children is a mistake many parents make." "Well, I can't take it much longer, Mr. Rourke," Allison sighed, looking deeply frustrated. "Which operetta are you going to sing?" Mr. Rourke asked. "It is called Naughty Marietta," Allison replied reluctantly. Mr. Rourke smiled and began to describe the world she was about to enter. The character Miss Holmes will be portraying, Marietta, is a French princess who runs away from an undesirable marriage by joining the Casquette Girls. The Casquette Girls were women who traveled to Colonia, Louisiana, where they were bought by men in need of wives. "I think it would be best if you read the play and acquaint yourself with the plot, Miss Holmes." Allison looked terrified. "I think I'd better warn you about something." "What?" Mr. Rourke asked. "I can't even carry a tune," she confessed. "Well, perhaps we can remedy that," Mr. Rourke said with confidence. "Sing something, please. Anything, just a few bars." Allison hesitated, then took a deep breath. "Go ahead," she told herself. "Somewhere over the rainbow." Her voice was sweet, but a little blocked. Mr. Rourke nodded thoughtfully. "That is very nice. But, will you open your mouth, please? Now, try again." Allison tried once more, letting her voice ring out fully. "Somewhere." Tattoo, who was listening nearby, cheered. "Boss, you're terrific." Alison gasped in disbelief. Mr. Rourke, was that me? Oh, indeed it was, Mr. Rourke assured her. Now, Miss Holmes, open the book, and we'll be on our way. In an instant, the tropical resort seemed to fade away, replaced by the bustling sounds of a historic harbor. Shouts echoed through the air. The boat is in. The Casquette girls are here. The boat is in. Yes, Miss Holmes, Mr. Rourke's voice seemed to echo in her mind. Colonial New Orleans in the year 1780. The Casquette girls had just arrived from France. Your mother wanted you to play the role of Marietta, and indeed, you will. As quickly as you can, familiarize yourself with the book. Suddenly, a rough-looking man grabbed her arm. Hey, what are you doing? Alison cried out. Take her as my wife, which? Let us go. The man shouted. Get your hands off me. Wait a minute. Put me down. Mr. Rourke. Mr. Rourke. Alison screamed as she was lifted up. The book, Miss Holmes. Read the book, Mr. Rourke's voice reminded her calmly from the ethereal mist. What page? She yelled back in panic. Back in the reality of the island office, Mr. Rourke was sitting across from the sharp and professional attorney, Miss Margaret Stanton. Forgive me for being late, Miss Stanton. I was unavoidably detained, he apologized gracefully. Of course, Miss Stanton replied, opening her briefcase. Shall we get down to business? Yes. May I? Mr. Rourke asked. Please, she said, handing over the documents. Thank you, Mr. Rourke said, scanning the papers. As you know, I was sent here by my firm to present this check to the winner of the Irish sweepstakes. Mr. Ambrose Hoskins? Yes, Mr. Rourke confirmed. Now, according to his file, Mr. Hoskins was a retired merchant ship captain. And for the past 7 years, he worked here as your head groundskeeper. Yes, that is true, Mr. Rourke said. Unfortunately, Mr. Hoskins passed away only last week, Miss Stanton noted with regret. There was another party named by the late Mr. Hoskins on the winning ticket. Oh, who is it, boss? What is his name? Ambrose Hoskins? Ambrose's friend? Did Ambrose write that? Tattoo blurted out, unable to contain his excitement as he leaned over the desk. Yes, Miss Stanton answered. And I'm here on behalf of my firm to find his best friend and present him or her with this check. That is not going to be easy, Tattoo muttered. Mr. Rourke looked at the attorney. What Tattoo is trying to say is that Mr. Hoskins was not blessed with, shall we say, a very amiable personality. You may have some difficulty locating his best friend. I'd be most grateful to you for any help you could give me in locating his best friend, Miss Stanton said earnestly. Very well, Miss Stanton, Mr. Rourke replied. We'll see what we can do. Tattoo, since you are familiar with all the members of our staff as well as most of the island population, I want you to look into this matter at once, and you will be in full charge. Anything you say, boss, Tattoo said, feeling a great sense of responsibility. And like I say, it is not going to be easy. Excuse me. Outside the office, Mrs. Beatrice Soames was marching down the path, her face red with anger, trailed by her husband, Herbert. It is ridiculous, she complained loudly. Absolutely ridiculous. And I'm going to speak to Mr. Rourke about it immediately. If he thinks for one moment. Ah, there he is. Mr. Rourke. I want to tell him. Mr. Rourke, we have just come from the theatre, and there's no rehearsal going on. Now, how can Alison star in Naughty Marietta when she doesn't even rehearse? I sent your daughter back in time so she could experience the true story, Mr. Rourke answered calmly. You mean Alison is actually going to be Marietta? Oh, indeed. Oh, no, 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 Mrs. Soames cried, horrified. Herbert looked at his wife, confused. Dear, is something wrong? Is something wrong? Mrs. Soames snapped. When I said that I wanted Alison to appear in an operetta, I meant act in it, not live it. Oh, no. Captain Warrington. Dear, who is he? Herbert asked. He is the romantic lead in the operetta, she explained in a panic. She is going to meet him and fall hopelessly in love with him. Dear, what is wrong with that? Herbert wondered aloud. Herbert, he is a fantasy. There are no real men like him, Mrs. Soames argued. He is perfect. And when her fantasy is over, can you imagine her reaction to the average, imperfect, slightly slobby real man? Well, I suppose. Herbert began. No, 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 Mrs. Soames interrupted. Mr. Rourke, bring my daughter back immediately. Oh, I'm afraid it is too late for that, Mrs. Soames, Mr. Rourke said smoothly. However, there is something I can do for you. Then I demand that you do it immediately, she commanded. If you insist, Mr. Rourke smiled. I insist, she said firmly. Will you close your eyes, please? You too, Mr. Soames. Please, Mr. Rourke instructed. That's right. Mrs. Soames hesitated. Mr. Rourke. Herbert looked around as the world began to shift. Herbert. You're really blowing it, Rourke, Herbert muttered to himself as the environment changed around them. All right, well, I'll just straighten this thing out myself. I've got to keep Allison away from anyone named Captain Warrington. Rourke, what have you done? Where am I? Allison. Meanwhile, news of the sweepstakes had spread across the island like wildfire. 2 resort workers, Mitch and his friend, were leaning against a truck, discussing the massive fortune. Hey, Mitch. Mitt. Did you hear about old Ambrose? About him kicking off last week? Who cares? Mitch grumbled. No, 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 no. About him winning the Irish sweepstakes. With him dead, who is all that money gonna go to? His friend explained. His best friend, Mitch realized. Sure wish I would have treated him nicer while he was still alive and kicking. Me too, the other added. And I bet you'll never guess who was picked to find out who Ambrose's best friend was. You ready for this? Tattoo. You mean Tattoo decides who gets the $1 million? Mitch asked in shock. Deep within the 1780 New Orleans fantasy, Allison was still struggling against her captor. All right, all right, all right, wait, rest a minute. All right, all right, all right, all right, the rough man grunted, setting her down for a moment. You lousy creep, Allison yelled, slapping at him. Creep. I don't creep on nobody, he complained. Suddenly, a handsome man in a dashing military uniform stepped forward, knocking the ruffian aside. Oh,